your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tuned into World Combat Sports.
Once again, thanks for tuning in. You're listening to World Combat Sports. Appreciate everyone tuning in on Juneteenth. I know everybody probably have whatever going on. I'm not sure where you at or where you celebrating, but hopefully everybody is safe and out there enjoying this June 10th. You know, June 19th, we got a fight card that's coming on. And, and a lot of other things. Right now, we have the UFC fight card that's going on. My boy Diego Lima is in there against the immortal one, Matt Brown. They're in the second round right now. But we have a host of topics to talk about. You know what I'm saying? If you followed recently, this is the SKIDMARK Chronicles EP 15. You know what I'm saying? All rats are invited. You know what I'm saying? All rats and mutts are invited. But we're going to talk about some, combat sports topics. You know what I'm saying? That's basically, I'm hearing there's a lot of, now important headlines is out there. Like Rigondeaux. Rigondeaux decided to step aside and let freaking John Casimero fight Nonito Donaire in the bantamweight division. Is it a good move on Rigondeaux's part? You know what I'm saying? Is that a good move on Rigondeaux's part? I believe so. I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's a good move on his part. He can't lose that way. Mississippi King in the house. What's good? Salute to you, my brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Also, we're talking about Gamboa. Gamboa is out with a rib injury versus Chris Colbert. And we're definitely going to talk about Gervonta going at Teofimo Lopez. Does he have every right to? I mean, they're boxing. They're in the same weight class. Gervonta Davis is doing something Teofimo Lopez isn't. Both of these guys are at the top of the lightweight division right now. Even though Gervonta is basically, fought one fight at lightweight, he's still on PPV at neighboring weight classes. You know what I'm saying? He's about to be a PPV. He's about to be on PPV next week. He dropped down to 130. He was on PPV then. Now he's about to go in here and fight Mario Barrios, who has a secondary title. And basically what Gervonta Davis is saying, that the reason why Teofimo and Triller moved that fight card, from this weekend, which was supposed to be today, is that the tickets wasn't selling. It's out there that the tickets was going from 175 to 2,500. Now, before the fight was moved, they dropped down to 40 to 400. There's no way you can put on a freaking, no way. You can't do that. You can't do that. And also I want to touch on the gender equality of the female boxers. What does it take for them to even come close to even, influencing the higher ups, the brass, as we call in the military, to take note and listen and take them serious? I've said this plenty of times before. It just cannot be Clarissa Shields. It has nothing to do with your credentials. It just can't be Katie Taylor or Michaela or Cecilia Brakes. It just can't be just one of them. It has to be a group effort when it comes to these women. It has to be a group effort. That's the only way they're going to be able to come close to doing any of this shit. And I was listening to I was reading an article on what, hold on for a second. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I was reading an article on Michaela Meyer. What she's saying. She said, why should we fight the same as the men and they're not going to pay us anymore? Well, you got to start somewhere. You definitely have to start somewhere. So if you're not willing to start fighting the amount of ring rounds the men fight and also the minutes per round, then what are they to gauge it off of? They basically had the women at 10 rounds, 2 minutes apiece for safety. You feel me? It's just like in the Marine Corps. It was a point in time where the women, look, the men was running 3 miles. Our entire physical fitness test consisted of 100 setups, maximum to get maximum score, 20 pull-ups for maximum score, and a 3-mile run with time increments to basically gauge where your point system lies. You know what I'm saying? They have time and what you was able to finish the 3-mile in. At that same time, when I was in early on, the females was running 1.5 miles. They had to do the crunches. I mean, the setup, so to speak. And they had to execute a dead hang from the pull-up bar for a certain amount of time to maximize the physical fitness. What I'm telling the women's boxing is, I know the Marine Corps is different, but it came upon a time where you had women that wanted to be on the same playing field as the men. So, you know, that word started getting out to the higher ups and they started doing something about it. They said, this date, we're going to change the women from the 1.5 miles to the 3 mile. That changes everything, because the women used to run and they running up to the 3 mile mark. I mean, to the halfway marker with ease. And I'm not going to lie. It's some men that complain too. You know what I'm saying? It was like, they want to talk about being equal on the battlefield. Come on, bro. Come on. Give us a break. Hold on for a second. Let me see how this. I'm up here talking. Hold on. Y'all give me a minute. Hold on for a split second. Damn, Matt Brown stopped my boy Diego. Damn. Shit. Wow. Matt Brown's always been dangerous, man. You know, Matt Brown's always been a dangerous fighter. Damn. You know, the Lima brothers is down here in Atlanta. Matt Brown has like 40-something fights, man. This dude, he's had his ups and downs. But he's a tough motherfucker, but let me see. Oh, he caught him with a right hand flush. One punch knockout. Boom. Right on the nose, man. Done. Out. God damn. Salute to everyone in the building, man. You know, my hometown fight over here just got stopped. Diego Lima, Douglas Lima brother. Damn. I still rock with the Lima brothers, real talk. And shout out to ATT. You know what I'm saying? Salute to them. They good people, man. But I know Douglas Lima lost his title recently. And his brother, Diego Lima, just lost tonight against Matt Brown, was stopped. His brother Douglas Lima lost via decision. Mississippi King in the building. King Mitch, what up? Say come back. What up, J8? Salute y'all. What's good? What's good? Great day back. The bully got his ass knocked out. Yes, sir. You know, hey, man, we got some topics all over the place today. I want to start with and get this garbage out the way, right? Jake Paul, on his podcast, had mentioned fighting Mike Tyson, and his reasoning for that is, you know, he's really flying high off this momentum. He has his wings spread, and motherfuckers quacking loud. You know what I'm saying? He's just looking for another pond to land in where the money is floating on the top like lily pads. For real. That's what the Paul brothers are trying to do. Them motherfuckers trying to find ponds now where the lily pads is motherfucking dollars, hundreds. So he's pretty much calling out Mike Tyson now. He pretty much saying that, hey, he old. Let me fight Mike Tyson. Now, you know damn well, right? You know damn well there's two people you should be calling out if you're going to call out Mike Tyson. You should be calling out Mike, and you should be calling out Roy Jones Jr. Don't come over here talking about Mike Tyson, though. He's only freaking 2 years older than Roy. You know what I'm saying? Why not call out Roy Jones Jr.? You know, I think Mike Tyson like 54 and Roy's 52. Why not call out Roy? You know, you want to call out Mike Tyson because Mike Tyson is somewhat all over the place right now. You know what I'm saying? He say one thing, it's according to what he's smoking on. I don't freaking know what strand he on at this point in time. It might be the black hole Milky Way / with Pluto, Venus mixed all together and to a meteorite. That's what type of strand he on. But one minute he's saying, I remember he used to. Anyway, I get to that later. I'm just looking at this shit. And I remember one time he used to criticize Floyd, but yet he was saying that Floyd's going to whoop Logan Paul ass. But now, if he takes this fight with Logan Paul, if it catches enough buzz, I really don't know where to go with this shit, because I was just in the gym today, right, getting in some work. And I was talking to the coach. And he was talking to me about, you know, the Paul brothers. He said, what do you feel like? And I say, well, it used to be a moment in time where I felt some type of way. Like, I was like, okay, it's like diminishing. It's putting a dim light on boxing. It's no respect factor there. None of that shit. I say, but then I started talking to the boxers, and they gave me a different type of attitude. They wasn't too concerned about it. They said, get your bag, do what you got to do. So and then he told me what he thought. He said, well, it's not the first time they started doing exhibition bouts. And then he mentioned something like, you know, it may open the doors for other boxers to make money. And you know what? That's the same thing, right? That the boxers told me. The boxers went over there and told me that if they're going to get the bag, let them get the bag. So it seems like in one sense, they say boxing pay better than MMA. But then the other sense, it seems like the fighters are starving. You know what I'm saying? They're famished. Which one is it? Is boxing thriving? Can you make a living enough to feed your family? You know, if you're looking at Logan Paul, does he curve your appetite enough? I don't get that. I don't get Logan Paul curving the appetite of boxing to the point where people look at him as being this clown, and he's disrupting the flow of boxing for those amateurs who's putting in all this work. They're going out here fighting all these amateur fights to come over to professional ranks, and you have a YouTuber. By the way, who was slept by Floyd, but thanks to Floyd being a team player and holding his ass up. Thanks to Floyd for being a team player. Because Tyson did the same thing to his motherfucking sparring partner, right? He held his ass up when he goddamn caught him on the chin. He held him up. He said, nah. This is a freaking exhibition. But the Mike Tyson step in the ring with Logan Paul, I'm like, damn. Could you imagine me? Like, if I was to be able to step in the ring with Floyd and then step in the ring with Mike? I mean, damn. What else is there to do? You're going now you're saying, okay, if Logan Paul goes in there and fight an exhibition with Mike Tyson and he doesn't get knocked out, he's going to go to the next motherfucking legend in the sport. He might call out Roy Jones. You know, Roy's a different dude, though. Roy say, nah, you ain't going to. I don't know about going the distance with Roy. His mentality is different. He definitely ain't calling out Lennox Lewis on that shit, because Lennox stay in shape. He's not too much of a talker. You know, you talk too much shit to Lennox Lewis. We seen in the past of what happened. He ain't afraid to move furniture, goddammit. Isaac Cruz about to whoop some more ass tonight. You know what? Shout out to Isaac Cruz, man, the pit bull. You want to talk about, look, I don't even want to compare him to Mike Tyson. I don't, because his aggressiveness flows into the habit of the behavior or the mannerisms or the tenaciousness of Mike Tyson. He don't have the knockout power, even though it did look like that with Diego Magdaleno. Like, I was there ringside. God damn. He beat down Magdaleno. He beat his ass. Damn. And that's my boy, too. Magdaleno is cool. But Isaac Cruz is something to watch, man. I don't know how long he's going to stay on the winning streak with him just walking in on his opponents like that. A boxer can beat Isaac Cruz if they have the stamina. This dude has gas tanks. He has lungs, bro, to walk you down the entire fight. But if he fights a boxer, I believe he's going to have some trouble. But I am looking forward to him fighting also. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping Isaac Cruz, was on this Gervonta Davis card. Real talk. I was really hoping that Isaac Cruz was on this, but he is indeed pit bull, man. He is indeed a pit bull. But let's just hope Logan Paul is not able to step in the ring with Mike Tyson. I'm not feeling some type of way about it, but I think, boxing is transferring its interest over to reality TV in a sense. You're still going to have the promotions that put on the legitimate boxing matches. But when it comes to this exhibition shit, if no one can win, then what are you watching? You're just going to say, okay, I'm going to leave it to the public. All in favor? Who do you think won? All in favor, raise your hand. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be public opinion all the time? Goddamn Jake Paul on the motherfucking sidelines having a seizure. Oh, my brother hates that. 50-1. It ain't no 50-1. It's a motherfucking exhibition bout. Gervonta Davis, man. 24-0. 23 knockouts. He's set to fight Mario Barrios. Media week kicks off this week, right? So, of course, you already know. I was in Los Angeles and I was on my way to fly into Miami. And in the process of the press conference of Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury ending, I'm going back over that motherfucker because I got a flight at 8. I had a flight at 8. So I'm going back to the room. I said, man, let me check my motherfucking phone. So I checked my motherfucking phone. And look, I'm going to be honest with you. I give credit where credit is due. I give credit where credit is due, because why am I going to, sit up here and be selfish like that? It makes no sense to me to do that. But appreciate you, Dion, out of Tuscaloosa. Dion sent me a motherfucking message, and he said, Teofimo is canceled. So I'm like, they haven't sent out any type of notification yet, Triller. So I get on the phone and I call Triller. And I'm not going to tell you who I called, but I said, hey, what's going on, man? I'm hearing the fight canceled and all that, because I was en route. I have a flight to catch to fly into Miami and tomorrow morning, leave Los Angeles. I would have got there overnight or whatever. He said, yeah, the fight's canceled because Teo was tested positive for COVID. But during the process of the press conference with Wilder and Fury, I was just too involved just getting media shit done. It was just, I was just trying to do this, and that. Then I had to go eat, blah, blah, blah. Then it turns around that the shit is true. So now I have to attempt to reschedule a flight to go back to the crib. I had to stay over there one more night in LA. And then once I start to settle down, I'm hearing certain people tell me about the ticket sales wasn't the way it's supposed to be. And, Gervonta had made mention on an article. I'm going to put the link in the description too, so you can read them. Damn, forgot to do it. But Gervonta Davis, who has Mario Barrios coming up next week, said, you with the wrong people there, T.O. He's basically saying Trilla's not going to do him any justice. I disagree. I totally disagree. It's just they was dealt a bad situation where they had to improvise, adapt, and overcome. And that deals with this. Floyd, you slid in there, and he disrupted everything with the tension being on Lopez and Kambosos. Trilla said, let's pick up an abort mission. So they aborted mission to June 19th. Originally June 5th, June 19th. A lot of shit was going on with June 19th. And they saying, should I watch the Charlo card or not? Well, guess what? I think, at that point in time in Florida, people wasn't really tuned in to purchase. I don't know. I'm not going to sit up here and fly off what an article said. You know what I'm saying? I can only assume. I'm just going off assumptions, right? Let's just say it is true. From 175 to 40 and 2,500 being the highest, supposedly down to 400, that is a significant dip in the price point, isn't it? It's crazy. Andrew Charles in the building. Salute to you, my brother. What's good? Salute WCS in the chat. I like Beck, but dude kept leaving his melon of a head open. What you mean exactly? Who are you talking about exactly? Andrew, I'm not sure. I like Beck, but dude kept leaving his melon of a head open. Who is that? Let me know, man. Drop it in the chat. But Gervonta Davis, man, he did speak on. Let me go to the article right quick. He just made mention. I basically put some of the comments in the description over there on YouTube. But he just, Gervonta Davis just speaking up on him because they are in the same division. And it shouldn't be a huge deal that he's coming on his comp here. You know what I'm saying? Someday they may fight in the lightweight division. That'd be a damn good fight. If you want to talk about numbers, Teofimo fighting Gervonta Davis would be good numbers. You don't have to worry about this shit that's going on right now. So once I received the news, man, they told me that the fight has been rescheduled for August. Man, this is the third fight date for Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos. The third fight date, y'all. And the Lopezes cannot be mad at the game. I mean, you know how they said, don't hate the player, hate the game? You can't be mad at the game, though. Because it's been played over and over again. You can't sit up here and say, Floyd Mayweather, fuck that. You can't be mad because boxing allows this shit to happen. Floyd did it to Triple G and Canelo Alvarez, too. I mean, either you have the star power or you don't. How can you blame Floyd when he scheduled a Sunday fight? Floyd scheduled a Sunday fight. He didn't schedule on the same night, June 5th. He scheduled it on the night after. And somehow, some way, they were still forced to move. I don't know, man. Like I said before, boxing is the jungle. It's a Serengeti for sure. It's a lot of shit to take place out here. Boxers is going to have to be smart and also acutely strategic. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to be extremely assiduous when they're out here planning things, especially when they get to that point where people start to recognize who the fuck they are, right? They really need to learn how to strategically plan their itinerary to continue to stay on top and gain the interest of the fan. That's all. Some fighters don't have to do shit, really. They don't have to really talk to the fans. Like, let's be honest. Canelo Alvarez doing payday. We really never heard him, become garrulous like that. We never really heard him do that. But in the moment of what he was saying to Demetrius Andrade, it seemed funny. But, Canelo doesn't really talk much. But Teofimo Lopez, when it comes down to how he addresses the media, people gravitate to him because he can answer the questions. He has been talking his shit lately since he won the titles. But when it comes down to it, everybody's magnification is different with the audience. It's tough. I think if indeed he came down with COVID, or it was called because of ticket sales, it's a humbling experience. Because what do you say to that? You know what I'm saying? What do you say? Like, damn, you riding high, you're the undisputed titleist, right? And then now you have to have your first defense against a mandatory. And you and Triller has already boosted you into the headlines once more by winning the purse bid. You get to the point where you have it in Miami, you're going around doing press tours and shit, and then Floyd Mayweather comes out of nowhere on a parachute. Hey, buddy, don't forget about me, TBE. Money, money, money. I mean, that's just basically what he did. And it was the disaster. That weekend in Florida was a disaster. It was a disaster, y'all. The fact that Teofimo had to move out, abort mission, retreat, surrender, and then Floyd, they decided to have a match with an open roof, and it was raining. I mean, even the fighters that took L's in that, oh my God. I mean, say what you want to say. It was just the worst night ever, man. Not so much for Floyd, because Floyd performed as he should. But it was raining in the ring, man, with Jarrett Hurd and Arias. You know what I'm saying? It was raining on the canvas. So that shit had to be super slippery. And I'm not sure if that kind of, diluted Jarrett Hurd's mojo, but hey, he took that whooping. But does Gervonta Davis has a point? Do you believe, Gervonta continue to be, PPV accountable? He can do what the hell he want. He can fight who he want because he's making more money. At the end of the day, Gervonta, no matter how you look at it, Gervonta Davis is heading into his third division. His third division now. He may have more fights than Teofimo, but their age gap isn't that significant, right? He's heading to his third division to fight for a championship. And he's now associated with being a PPV fighter. Teofimo Lopez, this was supposed to be his coming out party with George Kambosos, and it didn't happen yet. It looks bad on Lopez. It looks bad on Triller. They're going to have to fix it. Because this boxing game, man, it'll suck you up, man, and spit you out. They're going to have to figure it out, like to be more accountable and sustainable when they pick these fight dates. And if, Teofimo, I'm not sure how long they're going to have Teofimo now that he restructured his deal. After this fight with Triller, I believe Triller loses Teofimo and he goes back to top rank since he was able to restructure his fight deal. But it's definitely a point of concern with them moving on. And with Teo, as he continued to grow in the sport. And then you have Devin Haney on there. Devin Haney is somewhat, independent. So they're trying to pick another fight that's, whatever they have in store. If it's going to be Teo, I don't think so. Look, I'm beginning to treat Lopez and Haney like I do Crawford and Spence. I just don't think that fight is going to happen anytime soon. That's all. It was a beautiful shot by Rosado. Big respect to him. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Man, Teofimo versus Kambosos was a flop from the beginning. High expectations from Senior ain't helping either. How is it a flop? Mitch, how's it a flop? Nothing happened. They had a very, very interesting presser, but how is it a flop? Nothing has happened yet. It's been everything, in my opinion, it's been everything but a flop. Like the presser, was lit. They drew the people in. They had a very intense, but yet entertaining presser. I mean, not to mention the amount of money the Triller won the purse bid with. It's just mandatory, bro. You know how many times we can go to mandatories and see how strict the IBF is? The IBF is very strict with mandatories, man. I know what a lot of people are going to say. Yeah, they could have made something if he really won. He didn't have to fight Haney, though. The IBF is stricter with mandatories, man. If Teofimo Lopez chose to fight his IBF mandatory, I mean, you can blame him with minimal, like minimal, I mean, very minimal validation to blaming him for not fighting Haney. It'll be minimal. I mean, he's a franchise champion, which basically separates him from obligation to do that. But where it's going all bad at is this weekend where Floyd just dipped in with his parachute and took over and caused Triller to relocate. And then, if indeed the ticket prices was the reason why this fight was relocated to August, rescheduled, then that's even worse. Now you're in the same month as Spence and Pack. Now it's do or die for you. It's do or die. If you're in the same month as Spence and Pack, it's do or die. You cannot abort anymore. You have to go in there and get it in. No matter what the numbers are. If you have a bad night with the numbers, then guess what? You have to return another time with a better name opponent, and then you'll see how much the people love you. It's dog nations out here, Tio. It's dog nation. Boxing is an unloving, disloyal sport when it comes to the fans. Or should I say the audience? It is, Tio. So don't be mad at Gervonta. If you're mad at him, y'all two can fight. And we're going to leave it at that. But know this. Gervonta Davis is in the ATL. He's scheduled to fight Mario Barrios next Saturday. And I can guarantee you that fight isn't going to be rescheduled. You know what I'm saying? That shit's going to happen. Mayweather promotion is on deck. Now, the one part that I did, I must, reiterate with George Kambosos, and I have to check the box with Kambosos and what he said about this. Real talk. I have to agree with him. He said, why didn't Teofimo take the shot? Why wouldn't you take the shot? Not the three-pointer, but the layup. The shot that goes in your arm for the vaccination. Why didn't you take the shot so you can definitely save the fight no matter what? You wouldn't have to worry about COVID-19. Why didn't you take the shot? If that is indeed the case. And I know it's been people that has been fully vaccinated and has caught COVID, but Kambosos was like, bro, why didn't you take the shot? Look, Kambosos is trying to get paid. He has fight camp. Tio has fight camp. But look, Kambosos is not making the money Tio is making. This is his biggest paycheck ever. So he really wanted to get in the ring already, win or lose, and get that paycheck and get that experience to share the ring with the lightweight undisputed titleist. You feel me? Moving on. I'm done with that. Okay, so Mitch say, Savage, what title? Taylor is undisputed. That title is monopoly money. Fake. I'm not sure what title you talking about, the franchise. And we're not even going into what the franchise is fake or not. It's just like the deuce is wild, right? When you playing spades and the deuce is wild, the deuce in any other facet of the game will have lower value than the ace of spade. But when you make it a rule to play spades with the deuce is wild, it adds another damn, high card to the value, right? It adds another high card to the value. That's exactly what the WBC did. It added another high card to the value. Big joker, little joker, ace of spade, deuce is wild. When are people going to stop talking about the belt is fake? And then I'm telling you, by the end of 2021, it's going to be another franchise belt. So it don't matter if you call it monopoly money all you want. If that's monopoly money, then guess what? That can be debunked very, very quick because it cashes out by basically saying you don't have to face your mandatory. It has legitimate value. Authentic. Ask Canelo. Ask Lomachenko. Ask Teofimo Lopez. Ask Juan Estrada. Come on, man. Y'all need to let that narrative go. It's going to be another franchise belt distributed before 2021 is over with. Watch what I tell you. Mitch say Triller should have dragged their nuts and had the fight on Saturday before Floyd versus Paul. Tucked their tail like bitches. Now they looking crazy. Mitch, I totally agree. They should have stood their motherfucking fighting hole. You know what I'm saying? They was already dug in, bro. They should have stood in the fighting hole and goddamn fought that shit. I agree. They should. I mean, with all the people they had with the promotion, they should have stood their motherfucking ground and fought. Rounds down range, goddammit. The firing line is hot. Rounds down range. They should have stood their ground and rocked and roll. Period. Absolutely agree. They should have stood their ground. But to retreat twice? Ugh. Oh, man. It was a flop from the beginning because the high expectation the number Senior was claiming they're due. Expectation makes it flop. Well, Senior has said things in the past and it came to fruition. That's why they was proclaiming he was the Nostradamus of boxing, right? So we can't really, moonwalk on this topic just because the promotion decided to absquatulate. They decided to move. They decided, y'all. We don't know what was being said behind the scene, but they are the promotion. They decided to move. And that just goes to show you how much of a powerhouse Floyd Mayweather still is in retirement, bro. Dude, don't stop, man. If Senior's saying it'll do $2 million and the fight turns out to do 200,000, that's a flop. Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you, Kambosos and Lopez does more than 200,000 PPV sales. Now, granted, I cannot really prognosticate in hindsight because it's impossible, but just say the fight hasn't happened yet and it's still scheduled for June 5th. I believe Lopez and Kambosos would have did pretty decent numbers. I'm not saying it's going to be close to no $2 million now. There's no way I'm going to damn fragment my integrity with that shit. But I know it would have done more than 200,000. Real talk. Going head to head with Mayweather alone would inflate the numbers. Triller was shook though. Maybe they were scrambling to improve the undercard. I don't know. Looks weak though. The undercard could have been a bit more, had a bit more authority to it. Yes, sir. The undercard could definitely have a lot more prestige with some bigger names on there. Entertainment value should have been increased. You know what I'm saying? The names that was on that undercard, especially for his first PPV. Yeah. They should have had some star power, some Wall Street down there. Okay, so-and-so fighting on here. Okay, cool. Oh, he fight. Okay. They fight. It should have been that way. But really, no one was really talking about that shit. Like, the undercard was a cushion. It was a sofa cushion. Believe that. It was just a sofa cushion, man. And I don't know, man. It's this boxing game, just like, Mitch. I don't know if you remember when they was talking about Eddie Hearns when he won that, when he was basically approved for that $1 billion DAZN deal, right? And people was like, oh, he got $1 billion. And I'm telling motherfuckers, no, it's contingent. It's contingent, right? So after that, it was rumor mill going around that Eddie Hearns saying he was gonna come over here to the US and take over. I say, you know how many motherfucking wolves over here when it comes to this promotion game? You know how many motherfucking pterodactyls that's over here? Raptors? You know how many motherfucking junkyard dogs has been in this boxing game? You think Eddie Hearns is coming over here to take over boxing? So that's the same thing I'm talking about with Triller. It's going to be a rough road. You're going to have some bumps and bruises. But Triller has to keep that same energy that it had with Tyson and Roy Jones. And they have some, hey, they got to deal with it. They have to put together the pieces and be more of a presence to the fans. You know what I'm saying? They have to hold a better fight card. You know what I'm saying? It has to have an interest value. Damn near maximize interest value. Just like Mike Tyson and Roy Jones. That undercard wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad, y'all. Like, they had Logan Paul and Nate Robinson. That was bad, but it wasn't bad for those who just want to tune in and see some shit. People was going to wait around to the co-main just to see the main event. The sustaining power was absolutely there. The sustaining power with this fight right here with Lopez and Kambosos, I didn't see it, bro. I didn't see it. But that's a good point you made about, Mayweather being there, cohabitating on that weekend. And basically, it's possible he could have induced the numbers for Teofimo Lopez with the crowd that was already there to see the fights. So, we talking about South Beach. We talking about people with money. It's some individuals that would have went the both fight cards. They would have went, but Triller aborted mission, man. It's no fighter in boxing selling $2 million off the name alone. These dudes think they Mike Tyson in the 90s. They have to think high though, J8. They have to be positive about thinking high, man. You know what I'm saying? I get it. His dad gonna talk it up because they on the high right now. His son, within 16 fights, won a world title, and 17 became unified. So of course his dad gonna talk his shit because that's what he predicted. He predicted. I know because I was there. He told me before when they was going for the WBC. He told me his son was going to be champion at 16 fights. I don't know why people still upset that they aborted mission on the WBC, rerouted, and still got to the motherfucking prize, right? Right or wrong? Let me know, right or wrong. People just need to put that shit in the recycle bin and empty it. Because when it comes down to it, that's something that you can't change. It worked out. So now it's up to Teofimo with his future itinerary to make sure he fly high enough, and those that's below him are trying to stay abreast and share the ring with him. He want fighters looking for him, not the other way around. He want fighters that's basically say, hey, they telling their people, hey, can you call them up and see, we get this fight. See if we get this fight. It's gonna be a big payday for all of us. That's when you about, you're doing big things. Like, that's what he needs to do. He already has the damn titles and the crowns in his first division as a champion. He has all that shit. But if he ain't careful, Gervonta Davis is going to leave him far behind. You can say what you want about Gervonta. He coming to the press conference looking like he just woke up, like, I did this before. I've been here, done this before, whatever. I did it. I get it. Florida's holding on to Gervonta Davis because Gervonta is going in there entertaining the crowd. If he goes in here and knocks out Barrios, how many other Mexican fighters you think is going to be calling up? Hey, let me get that fight with Floyd Mayweather. Call Floyd Mayweather. We want this fight with Gervonta. We saw something. Look, they're gonna be saying like Mikey Garcia. We saw something. We saw something. What did you see? Motherfucker get knocked out? No, amigo. No. We saw something. We can beat him. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have these Mexican fighters, Latino fighters calling up Mayweather Promotions saying we want next up. What if Gervonta do something crazy in the next 3 years, 2 to 3 years? What if he moves up what if the landscape has changed up there at welterweight? What if it's just another WBA regular title sitting around, right? Just sitting around because, Virgil Ortiz, WBA gold title. And then you have freaking Yordenis Ugas with the regular, I believe, at one point. Do you see the trend that's going on with Gervonta Davis? He has a sweet tooth for the secondary titles. He loves the WBA, dog. I'm telling you. It was a point in time I said Gervonta is not going to move up to 140. He's too small. What is he doing? He's moving up to 140. He picks up the belt 140. He becomes 3 division, right? He's kind of emulating what Adrian Broner did early in his career. He stacked the divisions early. So when it became later in his career, he still had that star power. Just off his credentials alone, he had the star power. And if he continued to win, no one's really going to be able to come in there and tell Gervonta Davis he's the B-side, like Ryan Garcia attempted to do. Ryan Garcia attempted to believe that him and Oscar was going to come into that motherfucking negotiation and think that they was going to be the motherfucking A-side against Gervonta. Is you stupid? And that was before you even won a second division title. Like, you sitting at an interim title where you didn't even want to fight Devin Haney. So therefore, how are you going to sit up here and say, well, just because you're getting off the canvas from Luke Campbell, you're going to go in there and say Gervonta is going to be the B-side? Come on, bro. Stop it. No, I'm talking about the Davis fight where you're saying he's fighting for a title. That's not, look, it's a title though. They're recognizing that secondary title as legit. Y'all have to start recognizing this is not fake money. When Floyd Mayweather went on a rant during Gervonta Davis' last open workout, right, with Leo Santa Cruz, right? You have to understand why he was saying they need to clean up the sport of boxing. There's belts everywhere. It's like weeds. You leave, look, if you have a house that's foreclosed on or whatever, and the grass isn't cut, it's just incredible. Like, a golf course, for instance, a golf course go out of business, and that beautiful green you used to see, you start seeing these weeds grow up. And it's just everywhere. Before you know it, the shit just look unkept. That's how boxing look. If you really, give it an overlay, a once over, as they call it, you see all these belts out there. And you have to ask yourself, okay, should I be concerned or should I ask around? Then when you see Mike Tyson, you hear Mike Tyson say, yeah, all the belts is out here. It's good for boxing. It allows them to get a payday and get paid. Why not? Yeah, I'm for it. Mike Tyson say he's for it. But Floyd Mayweather isn't. So if that is indeed the case, they're on Savage, right? Then they would take away the belts that Gervonta fought for at 135. The belts Gervonta is about to fight for at 140. You know, no one in that case, they're not respecting the regular title. But there's a lot of cats out here have that WBA regular title. So you have to respect it, just like they're going to learn how to respect the franchise belt. I'm not sitting up here advocating for that. I'm just saying you have to understand that boxing's changing. And it's not changing as a unit. It's not. Look, boxing isn't a solid unit, y'all. If you grab boxing and throw it in water, it's going to break up into many pieces. It's not going to be a flotation device as a unit. That's not what boxing is. Boxing is never going to be a solid unit where you toss it in water and it's just going to float. It's going to be millions of fragments all over the place. Some are going to stay afloat and some are going to sink to the bottom. That's the sport of boxing. That's where we at. You really don't. Where's the starting point? As much as I don't want to do this, look at the UFC and Bellator. They have starting points. They have a gate. They have a bottleneck. They have individuals that's running the organization. They have matchmakers. They have a president. And they have a belt system that is condensed to the world title holder. And every now and then, you may see an interim title. Very, very, very minimal. But you know where the entry point is. In boxing, you have no idea where the entry point is because it's promotions all over the place. They everywhere. Anybody can be a promoter. I mean, you just get your promoter's license just like you get your boxing license. Where it comes down to is how deep are your pockets, because boxing is about money, and how deep are your pockets. You know, the planning process. Do you have enough money to take care of the insurance of the fighters? Lock on the venue, pay for medical, pay for dang venue insurance, pay the fighters, build up enough notoriety for people to start showing up to your fights and supporting it. So it's easy to get a promoter's license, but then again, you have some people with deep pockets that's able to put on these shows and they be screwing over fighters. That's why I say it's no entryway. It's a dirty game. I mean, it's a dirty. And then some of these promotions be locking in these fighters on contracts, and the fighter just needs, to feed his family and everything, and they locked into a multi-fight deal, and come to find out that the promoter is just fucking them over, but they can't do shit. They can't fight nowhere else or nothing. Because either way it goes, your fight's going on BoxRec. So you might say, oh, no, forget it. Don't put it on BoxRec. No, the promoters, hey, if you didn't tell the promoter that you locked in with a contract and then they find out, they look on your BoxRec and find out you had a fight recently, they're gonna suspend you. They're gonna find some type of way to recoup that money. It can happen. I'm telling you. Breach your contract or whatever the terminology is. I know that just from going to fights and seeing the shit play out like that. You need the right partner, right date, the rivalry. That's why the Fury type numbers are 2 million buys. I agree. You have to have the right dance partner, and that dance partner has to be rated high enough there, J8, so the people can come out and see. So yeah, absolutely. Them are good dance partners, solid, great dance partners, really. They do 2 million buys. And not only they're great dance partners, it's the fact that they have a history together. So the boxing audience can link them together. It may be ominous, right? But still, they can tie them together, and that's going to bring more people to sit ringside to see them fight. And also the ones at home, they're gonna say, hey man, I'm throwing a fight party. You know, you want that Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather vibe. I remember being in California, man, motherfuckers was throwing fight parties all over the place for Conor and Floyd. Nobody really cares about Teo Cambosa's fight. Nah, you can't say that, Jade. Somebody cares now. Come on now. The man beat Vasyl Lomachenko. They, you know, his fans hasn't aborted mission yet. It's just with Floyd, you can't say like I know Lopez Sr. was upset, but you just can't act like this is the first time he's did this shit. And once again, what did I just say about boxing? It's no ECP. Remember that acronym I told you. It's no ECP in boxing. Entry control point. It's no entry control point in boxing. Because you can have boxers all over the place and nobody know who they are. And them cats could be building up 10, 15 and 0, and nobody knows them. It's no ECP in boxing. You can just go in here and build up your record off the radar, and then all of a sudden you fight somebody with importance and you're on TV on the undercard. Who is this guy? 15 and 0. Who is this girl? 5 and 0, 5 knockouts. What? And she goes up there and gets slept. No ECP in boxing. It said Ruiz Areola sold 200K. You know, you have to look at it. That's Ruiz Areola. You know, it turned out to be a sleeper though. And you know, the solid part about that 200K is Ruiz did it to himself. Areola has already did it to himself over time. Like, you know, fights that he was supposed to be in good shape and they was expecting him to perform. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't give us that. But Ruiz, Andy Ruiz, going into that Joshua fight with just one loss, disrupting and upsetting the boxing world by stopping Joshua. One of the biggest upsets in boxing. It was. It's one of the biggest upsets in boxing. For him to come back to the rematch, deconditioned, overweight, obese, and to basically let down Mexico the way he did, being the first Mexican heavyweight champion. He did it to himself. He let a lot of people down and they was like, man, we ain't fucking with this dude. He ain't serious. Teo didn't believe in himself versus young King Devin Haney. I disagree. I totally disagree, y'all. Jay, I totally disagree, bro. And we have a clear understanding that we can disagree. You know what I'm saying? That's your opinion. I totally disagree with that. You know, because I mean, come on, man. We're not going to turn this into that because we can go all night. I totally disagree. That's why he took the route. I mean, Salido already kicked Loma ass. Well, you have to look at it like this. It was at one point in time the ESPN erased that loss and as if it didn't count. You know what I'm saying? They erased it. And then you can't sit up here and act like Vasyl Lomachenko wasn't top 2 pound for pound. You can't act like that everybody on old media was going for Vasyl Lomachenko. Everybody was going. And then, you know, they walked that little racehorse up into that motherfucker in the showroom floor and they said, oh, this is it. This is the top pound for pound right here. Vasyl Lomachenko. Give him a twirl right quick. Take him around in a circle. There he is. Going in here against Teofimo Lopez. He's sure to put on a great show and introduced Teofimo to the big leagues. He is the 2-time gold medal Olympian. He is high tech. Vasil Lomachenko. They were saying all that shit. Why would you think that Vasil Lomachenko, who was top pound for pound, right, and had a better resume than Haney, why would you think Teofimo Lopez, he took that route, the IBF? He took the IBF route to get to the goal. Come on, J8. Come on, bro. You know this. He took that route to get to the goal. If me and you racing to get to the goal and we took two different routes, but I get there first, that means I had the better goddamn route. My planning process worked out effectively for me. If I get there before you, that means I plan properly. You know what they say about the 5 Ps? Proper preparation prevents piss poor performance. I remember when Lopez was going for the WBC and they tried to make this tournament. But what if they would have did the tournament there, J8, and Vasil Lomachenko turns around, I'm done fighting for the year. Mauricio Suleiman, is there any way that I can petition for that belt that Canelo have? I don't want to fight Teo. I'm not mentioning Devin Haney because it happened to him, right? It happened to him. But what if Teo would have been the one to go through the tournament and won? He would have been sitting over there looking crazy because he took that route and sustained. And then you would have had Richard Comey up there potentially going in there to fight Vasil Lomachenko for the undisputed titles. Real talk. What if they went and just like it was agreed upon with Devin Haney and Alfredo Santiago to not have a title eliminator? Per Mauricio Suleiman, they were not going to fight for the mandatory of Vasil Lomachenko, so they agreed to fight for the interim title. What if that would have been Teofimo Lopez? What if that's the case? How stupid would he have been to put all that work to sustain a freaking tournament only for Vasil Lomachenko to be a part of the Duck Masters Coalition? I don't know why people still hanging on to this narrative as if it was stuff and you know, it was paperwork signed. You know, you just going off the title that he won when he fought for the vacant with Luke Campbell. And he decided to vacate that title and become the second franchise champion. It wasn't anything mandated. If it was mandated, they would have fought for a title eliminator. Mauricio Suleiman agreed that they being Vasil Lomachenko, Team Lomachenko, didn't have to do it. They didn't have to do it. Teofimo Lopez went the IBF route and fought for a title eliminator. He fought Nakatani. Masayoshi Nakatani. He fought, and Nakatani was ranked higher than him. And y'all still using the narrative? That's why he took that route. Masayoshi Nakatani was a hard fight. Title eliminator. Boom. He defeats Nakatani. He gets Comey. Smashes Comey in 2 rounds, and he gets now Lomachenko. You cannot sit up here and continue to retread that narrative, Jay. You can't do it, bro. Teo signed a new contract and catch the vid. Teo signed a new contract. I know he restructured his contract with Top Rank. Yes, sir. I believe he thought he would beat Haney. He would have done it by now. Why? Why should he fight down? Why? Does the title that Devin Haney has, does it have any more authority? Does it have more authority than the franchise belt? We're not talking about public opinion. We're talking about factuality. The factuality. I know that's not a word, but it is tonight. The factuality of it. What has more power? The franchise belt or Devin Haney's belt? We don't care who wore the belt. In boxing, people have to understand that Mauricio's mindset is they want to do away with tradition and move to evolution. What is it going to take for you all to continue to read past the index? The index can give you the history of everything that was a part of that belt. But when you start reading the chapters, shit is changing. The storyline is different, y'all. You have to follow and read. Boxing has been around longer than most combat sports. Mauricio Suleiman should be the holder of 100% culpability when it comes to the franchise belt. He's been asked over and over again. You all have to understand that Teofimo Lopez defeated the man. To be the man, you got to defeat the man. He defeated the man in Lomachenko. Lomachenko had the franchise belt and he had the WBC belt. He beat Luke Campbell for in a vacant title match and then vacated it. He beat the man. Mauricio Suleiman just recently was on Fight Hype and he verified it one more time out of 100. He said Teofimo Lopez is the undisputed champion and Devin Haney is the champion. He titles and descriptively devalues Devin Haney's title every time he speaks on it. At least he's speaking on it. I salute him for speaking on it. But he provides a very minimal value to Devin Haney's title. And I know it's frustrating for the Haneys because they have a legitimate belt that's a part of history. But guess what? History changes itself. With advancements in life, there are new rules. For the WBC, for them to create this belt, I can see if Vasil Lomachenko was the first one to have it. But he wasn't. Canelo was the first one to have it. Then Lomachenko fell in line and requested and petitioned the belt too. I mean, so why are we still talking about the belt that Haney has? We know it's a legitimate world title. We know it is a part of boxing history. We understand that. But when an individual that's in the position, Jose Suleiman, is no longer living, now Mauricio Suleiman has taken over. He is allowed within his authority to make these changes however he chooses to benefit. If it's the damn sanctioning fees, if it's the, just create something different to separate himself from the WBA. Mauricio Suleiman is doing shit his way. He has a different belt on the conveyor belt every other motherfucking day. The tree bark belt, the springtime belt, the freedom belt, the underground railroad belt, the cloud belt, the Colbert belt, the Cicadia Rise belt, the Cocoon belt, the Stoplight belt, the Double Cheese Quarter Pounder belt. He could do that. He's the president of the WBC. Y'all need to just digest that. And if it tastes like a salt tablet, make sure you have a chaser. That's the only thing I can tell you. Make sure you have a chaser. Because it's going to get saltier and saltier every time you mention it, and shit ain't being done about it. It's nothing that can happen with Devin Haney's belt right now. Nothing. It's nothing that he can do. No matter how long they stay there. If they want to stay there, hopefully and wishing, and this is no no denigration to Team Haney, because I see his pops on here grinding this shit out, right? And that takes dedication. That takes true dedication, right? But my critique of Devin Haney is still he has to grow into this sport. And I know with his father's out here on YouTube, man, he's doing an awful lot, man. He's doing a hell of a lot out here. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't have to speak to him personally. But I will, tell you what my eyes see. The shit is never personal, but the man is out here goddamn defending his son to the sun up and sun down, man. Like the shit he started with the Gary Russell and Haney shit, I never thought the fight was gonna happen. But every time I turned on the motherfucking YouTube, he was on there talking to everybody. That's hard work right there. With all that hard work, when it comes down to it, he's not gonna be able to change the value of that belt. That belt is just like Bitcoin. Seriously, you can put you can put stock in it all you want. It's not changing unless like the value of it continues to drop. If indeed, Teofimo Lopez, the restructuring of his title with Top Rank, and they go in there and fight for Seal Lomachenko for a second time, and they're going to be solid numbers on that because they fought on free TV and did 4 million views, right? How's he losing? Y'all going to continue to call him a duck? You can't, because the man has a belt for which he was an initial holder. The man petitioned the belt and became the third franchise championee, if that's even the word. He's the receiver. Canelo, Lomachenko, then Teofimo Lopez. And then we have Juan Estrada. And then by the end of the year, we have a fifth one. I know a lot of people said, well, Devin Haney need to, just drop the belt and move on with his career. At this point in time, the belt to them holds notoriety. Like, I know certain fighters out there would trash that belt. A lot of people don't have the cojones as Riddick Bowe and what he did with the WBC belt. But they don't have to go to the extreme and dump it in the trash. You know what I'm saying? But if they plan on rerouting in a lightweight division, which sanctioning body would be an alternate route for them to get the Teofimo Lopez? Because look, the WBA, IBF, and the WBO does not have franchise titles. Who has those belts? Teofimo Lopez. Do you know what will happen if, okay, let's say Devin Haney said, I'm done with this belt, and somebody else picks it up. Let's say Ryan Garcia picks the shit up, right? Let's say Ryan Garcia picks up that WBC belt. All right, via email. You have mail. Let's just say Ryan Garcia is that guy. Devin Haney is without a belt right now, but he has his freedom, right? He has his mobility. So now, if he goes an alternate route to get the Teofimo Lopez, and Lopez doesn't fight Devin Haney, it's going to work out worse for Teofimo Lopez, because fans are going to start to turn on him. Real talk. Right now, fans aren't on the side of Devin Haney because they're maintaining their position over there at the WBC. So with that, his competition is still, they're juggling his competition. They say, okay, he's still working. He still got shit to prove. He still got shit to prove. He still got shit to prove, right? So that they're not willing to bombard him with their presence and say, I fully support you, Haney. I fully support you. Well, if Haney got off that belt and redirected himself in another sanctioning body to get to Teofimo Lopez, and he took to social media and said, I'm coming for you. Just like Yoel Romero say, I'm coming for you, boy. I'm coming for you, boy. I think that would bring much more hype than him sitting in a theater chair waiting for the movie to come on. The credits have been playing too fucking long. Just like J8 is asking, okay, when is he going to fight? When is he going to fight Haney? Those are the credits, J8. Those are the credits, man. The movie's never coming on anytime soon. You done went through 3, 4, 5 boxes of popcorn, bro. When, man, I'm so thirsty. Can somebody, the concession stand closed? Shit, I'm so thirsty. This movie should have been on already. I'm gonna go to the bathroom and drink out the sink. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? People will respect Devin Haney a lot more if he rerouted and forced Teofimo Lopez to duck him. If Lopez didn't take the Haney fight and he went a different route, let's just say Haney, you know, he automatically got he had to fight somebody for a title eliminator. It don't matter what sanctioning body. Boom, he wins it. Teofimo chooses to fight Ryan Garcia, who picked up that belt. I'm just speculating. If he chooses to fight Ryan Garcia, beats Ryan Garcia, and then say, you know what, I'm getting off the titles, it's going to hurt Teofimo in the worst way. Real talk. Because then more people that was on the fence about supporting Devin Haney, because, you know, they was like, damn, he's standing there. He ain't doing shit there really. You know, he's just looking for one fight. That's Teo. If he redirected, went a different route, and Teo ducked him, it'll be hell to pay for Teofimo Lopez. It'll be hell to pay, bro. Because now you're going to have not only the boxing fans, you're going to have the black boxing fans saying, you know what? They're going to combine Bill Haney and they're going to combine Devin Haney. And they're going to say, you know what? These two right here out here low crawling in this motherfucker. You're going to have people starting to see like, damn, you know, Bill been on here talking. And, you know, they be talking that shit about Lopez. They're going to be like, you know, that's fucked up that Lopez that you did that shit. You was telling him to get off that belt, or you was telling him this, that, and the other. But yet when he changes directions and go a different sanctioning body just to knock on your door, you fight somebody else. Now, all of a sudden, Devin Haney's WBC belt he had, Teofimo picks that shit up. It's all bad. It's all bad for Lopez. Seriously, it's all bad. Because now people are saying, you know what, you really are ducking Devin Haney. This man got off his belt, came a different route to fight you, knocked on your door. Anybody home? I know you home. You got all the belts. I see them. Fight time. Sign the contract. We don't want to hear Lopez Sr. get on here and say, you know, that's his own fault. Fucking idiot. He should have kept his belt. No. Now you playing with people's emotion. Now you are playing with people's emotion. It's just a generalization of Jade. If you don't watch all these channels that he's on, sometimes he stays on there for quite a length of time. I'm not going to sit up here and name the channels, but he's on here. It's just a generalization. I don't subscribe to the fighting down shit when it comes to Teo versus Haney. If that's the case, every fight in the division is a fight down. Correct. Teo should just move up. Teo has all the belts. He don't have to do anything except shifting and move the way he feels. He has all the belts. He beat the man, Mitch. He beat the man. He beat Vasyl Lomachenko. Why should he rearrange his movement when he did it the correct way? His deployment ended in success. Mission accomplishment. If y'all in the building, hit the like button, man. Come on now. Why do I even have to say that? I'm just not a channel to tell y'all to do that shit like over and over again. Man, come on now. Show some love, bro. For real. Teofimo should not have to dance around unless it's in the ring. Why should he accommodate when he shows the redirect and he fought Nakatani, Comey, and Lomachenko? 3 straight killers. Come on, man. Y'all better than that, man. Illmatic in the building. Salute to you. Salute, bro. WBA super champions have 18 months to fight the world champion or vacate. Tank could be a mandatory for Teo at 135 and Taylor at 140. It all depends on how much value does the regular title holds when it comes to the mandatory. I think I would be remiss to say that the WB regular title has a different protocol. You know what I'm saying? If they have 18 months, okay, that's cool. But we seen Ryan Garcia. We understand when it comes to the WBC, if you fight for a vacant, it's 6. But if you fight for a champion, it's 12, right? It's 12 months. So therefore, when it comes down to this mandatory shit, either way it goes, if Devin Haney was to get off that belt, he would have to selectively, smartly choose the right sanctioning body to ensure they extract that mandatory from Teofimo Lopez. And the one, and look, you have to always include the genius part of what Teo did. They went to the sanctioning body that's the strictest when it comes to mandatories. Not only that, that was the last belt that was out there, shawty. Like, they went to the sanctioning body that will motherfucking enforce mandatories to the high heavens. Just ask motherfucking Triple G, Canelo. They enforce. IBF don't fucking play around. They don't care where you get them. Carlos Ocampo. They don't care where you get them, long as you get one. So Teofimo then went to IBF and they forced that shit, and the rest is history, y'all. But good point there, Illmatic. Cambosis might shock the world. He might. But I don't think it's the world, though, J8. Teofimo is not the world yet. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give Teofimo Lopez higher stock than Gervonta Davis when it comes down to this boxing. You can say what you want about Gervonta. Gervonta is knocking dudes out. Shout out to Pete Davenport. Appreciate you for the donation, my brother. He said, peace, my brother, and also left a super chat last night when the show ended. Wanted to know if you still received it. I have to check, man, because I did not see it. But, you know, once again, salute to your support. Much appreciated, and thank you. The thing to do would be to petition for the franchise title. Win that, then throw that title in the trash. So Mitch say the thing to do is to petition for the franchise title, which you cannot petition for the franchise title unless you're about to fight that fighter. Unless you are signed to fight that fighter. That's why the franchise belt is there, so you don't have a mandatory. Regardless if Devin Haney is the title holder of the WBC strap, he can't petition the franchise belt when Teofimo Lopez is not scheduled to fight him. He will have to be scheduled to fight Teofimo Lopez first, then petition for the franchise belt. Win everything, like I said previously on other lives, get all the belts, take their pictures and everything, and then toss that shit in the trash, like you said. Absolutely. Absolutely. But Mauricio Suleiman will be upset. Upset. I have talked to Mr. Haney, and they have retrieved the belt from the trash can with an apology, and therefore we are accepting of the apology and know that certain human beings react impulsively and that he truly didn't mean what he did, but was frustrated at his incapability of being able to fight Teofimo Lopez before now. So we have talked this over, and we have reestablished our friendship, our professional relationship, and we're moving forward. I mean, that's Mauricio, man. You know, you throw his belt in the trash, Mauricio, you're gonna get a phone call. You're gonna get a phone call, period. Haney already knocked on Lopez's door. He hiding in the closet and shit. Hey, that's your opinion. Who am I? Who am I? See that right there? I'm not even gonna go in detail. If that's what you say, it's cool. I know you're a Haney fan, so therefore, that's not even right. Something that I can talk about unless you was willing to click the link. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you're a Haney fan like that, but it's all good, you know. Tank the biggest star. Absolutely. Tank is the biggest star. The biggest star. You know what I'm saying? So being that they both are residents in the lightweight division, it just comes down to, will Lopez and Tank ever fight? Because Lopez and Tank is a bigger fight than Lopez Haney. It's a bigger fight. You know that. So when you fight 3 killers in a row, but yet you have people that's still defending, this should happen, this should happen, this should happen. But yet it doesn't have to happen because Mauricio has placed that belt with a restriction. That restriction does not benefit the fighter below. It doesn't benefit the fighter below, which is Devin Haney. And a lot of people, they need to role play just a little bit. They need to reverse roles and just put yourself in the position and say, if I was unified champion, undisputed, would I give this particular fighter a shot? A lot of variables come into play where you have to think, you know, should I give him a shot? Is it going to be this, and this, that, boom, boom. You know, you have to sit up here and brainstorm and shit. Talk to your people. You know, just juggle those marbles around. Is it, well, you know, is it, you know what I'm saying? You just got to make sure that you understand that boxing is a business first. That if you have other names that are so-called much bigger, that's making more money, do you want to link up with them? Of course. Of course. It doesn't matter how much Devin Haney is making as a fighter. It's how much the fans look at him. That if him and Lopez is gracing the square on the same night, PPV, is the fans going to pay for that fight? After seeing, you know, the Santiagos, after seeing the Gamboa, after seeing Donaire, will they pay for the fight? That's the big question. Teo versus Kambosos should be a good fight. Either Teo by KO in the early rounds or Kambosos if it goes to late rounds. Man, y'all really giving Kambosos, the Aussie, a shot in the late rounds against Teo? I mean, what are y'all looking at? The man at the end of the fights has enough strength to do a backflip, y'all. I mean, what are we looking at here? Like, he's landing on his feet. And you might take that for a joke, but a brother like me, I just look at all that shit like, dude, he's doing backflips at the end of the fight. So, where's the cardio issue? He was in there with Vasil Lomachenko, who he had to dance with. He had to make sure he had to dance with Lomachenko step for step. Seriously. I'm multitasking. You know, I know the fight card going to be coming on the main card. It's all good. Hold on for a second. I got to go record some shit. Hold on. All right, we back. So we have a short period of time before the fights. The Showtime card, main card actually kicks off, which is great. I don't know if y'all submitted for your refund. The last time Showtime had a card, it didn't play. A lot of people like, damn, I'm looking for this card and the shit didn't play. All you had to do is just submit your refund, and it take a little bit of time, but you'll soon get it. You know what I'm saying? So But back to the chat. They're giving Cam a chance. Y'all don't think of Cam as Jeff Horn? You think he's gonna do better than Jeff Horn did? Because Jeff Horn from Aussie, frustrated. The fans want that fight. They done gave Lopez all these excuses. I was joking about the Cambosa shit. Niggas been doing that. Well, the fans more so on the side of Devin Haney per se is wanting that fight. So you definitely got to look at it from two optics. Not everyone is asking for that fight. You know, in boxing, we already know there's going to be, you know, controversy. There's going to be adversity. And, you know, and a fighter, it depending on who you are, that they're going to praise you for it. We saw Baranchik and Zepeda, them knock each other down all over the place. We saw Ryan Garcia get knocked down and shit. You know, they praise the shit out of them. Devin Haney gets caught with a right hand after dominating 10 rounds. And they just damn criticize him. So I look at it in perspective, you know, when Bill Haney said, one time I heard him say that we've been struggling, we've been grinding from the beginning. We've been pretty much struggling from the beginning to get this boxing shit on par. You know what I'm saying? To establish our lane and build from there and elevate above the sport, so to speak. It's not his exact words, but he said we've been struggling from the start. You know that. And, you know, I look at it like, yeah, but there's been other black fighters that come to the sport of boxing and was able to become world champions and become superstars and then legends. You know what I'm saying? Let's not get it twisted. There is racism in boxing. And with every year and with every day, month, and year that pass by, boxing is going to continue to change. It depends on who can make the money here, who can make the money there. You know, we have social media on deck right now. So that changes the game, how some people intend to tune in to social media, AI, you know, artificial intelligence. They look at channels to validate a human being. Did you ever think that shit would happen? Like, not to shake hand with a physical form, but to look at artificial intelligence that has all the properties of being manipulated. They provide you the resources to buy views. They provide you the resources to buy subscribers, likes, all that shit. So if a person has 8 million followers, if a person has 15 million followers, why aren't they on social media every day asking for donations? If you really support me and what I'm doing, just donate $1. So let's do the math. You have 8 million motherfucking subscribers who donate a single dollar a day. And you're trying to tell me that's not beneficial to legitimizing those numbers? Because the shit isn't all the way fact. But this day and time, you don't have to shake hands with them. You don't have to eat lunch with them, nothing. Hey, you see the numbers? They have motherfucking 8 million subscribers. But yet they go live on IG and it's like 4,000 people tuned in. I'm like, give me a break already. Come on now. It's like 4,000, even if that. Sometimes, you know, you got some people with million subscribers, and man, they're like 2,000 people tuned in. So times has changed. You either do it the right way or you cut the corner and cheat. Hey, it's about time for us to purchase them subscribers. Let's start putting in those funds and purchase those subscribers, because these fools up here talking about, you know, so-and-so got that many subscribers. He had a hell of a following. This is what the language that human beings are using, y'all. This is incredible. I had somebody tell me about subscribers. I say, so you don't care about the work? It's all about your reach. Can you validate the reach of all these people that have 100K subscribers, 300K subscribers? Can you validate every single subscriber? Because if I want to waste some money, I can go out here and I can be at a certain number within no time. I'm telling you, people, that's how it is. But the fight card is about to come on, man. And I'm going to stay live. I'm just about to bring up this Showtime telecast, but I'm going to stay live. So it's going to be a pause in the action because I'm about to bring up this Showtime card, and I will be back over here to cover this card, man. You know what I'm saying? To see what's popping. You know, check out some of these undercard fights. So I'll be back in about a nickel.